Welcome back to the next episode of the Ecom Growth Show. I'm your host, Danon Coleman, founder of Ecom Triage, co-founder of Catalog Defender, and founder of the soon-to-release ecom.events. I just bought the domain yesterday, but we're not here to talk about that. So with me, I've got a guest. His name is Pietro Mappers. He's in Italy, and we're going to talk about the Amazon customer journey and how you as a seller can optimize for it. So Pietro, would you please introduce yourself and tell us how did you end up building success mappers and what did you learn and what do you do, etc. Go ahead.
Hi, Danan. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here and talk a little bit about what we do and how we can help the listeners. So yeah, Success Mappers started in 2017 when I started my own Amazon store. And then after that, I kept selling. I'm still selling products. We seen that some people needed help with services. So we started freelancing and we ended up with our agency, focused mostly on Amazon Europe. And what we do right now is helping brands scaling. That's what we do.
Cool. Now, you've been a seller for longer, since before you started Success Mappers, but you still are a seller today, is that right?
Yes.
All right, so I think that's really important because not only are you doing it for clients, but you've got your own business, so you're spending your own money. You're in the trenches, not just for your customers as an occasional thing, but every single day for your own business as well.
Yes. That's important. I think that's one of our competitive advantage because we see the problems from the owner point of view. Yeah, that's the reason why, for example, we developed the processes that we are talking today in this podcast episode because I see that there is a lot of knowledge around on YouTube on how to scale brands, how to do everything correctly, Amazon PPC, advertisement optimization, keywords. But as a owner, I know that sometimes you need to focus on the macro view, and to do that, you need some big macro strategies.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I'll just start off by saying anyone that wants to check out Pietro's company, you can go to successmappers.com. And so very easy to remember. His last name is Mappers. He wants you to have success. So successmappers.com. All right. So Pietro, I've got a series of questions I'm going to ask you, and let's just start bringing some value to our listeners here. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Question number one. What is the Amazon customer journey? Can you define that and what goes through that customer's mind?
Yes, so the Amazon customer journey is a concept that is very known to marketers, not specifically to Amazon. So everyone knows the customer journey. The Amazon customer journey is the journey process that customer take specifically on Amazon. So we use it to analyze in depth the touch points that customers have on Amazon Marketplace. Yeah, so the reason why we developed the strategy is because whenever we work with anyone, there is so many activities to do, and it's very hard to define what are the priorities. In my opinion, in 2026 and 2027, it will be very important to focus on ROI activities, priorities, and focus very strongly on what really matters. And to do that, you need to have a macro view of all the process. The Amazon customer journey is a macro view of the marketing experience from the customer point of view.
Cool. And what does that look like when it comes to the customers walking down that path? Because if you have, for instance, a Shopify store, you can see and track every state that the customer goes through, all the pages, how far they scroll, the heat map of where their mouse goes. And so you can optimize for that. You can handle abandoned carts. So you know if someone clicks to add to cart but doesn't check out and they've left, there are ways to get those emails. Amazon doesn't have any of that stuff available to us. So can you explain to me what's it look like as compared to your traditional e-commerce?
Okay, so there are some similarities and some differences. I think the biggest difference is that from our point of view, like Amazon is more focused on the conversion and the closing of the sales. So when we talk regarding the Amazon customer journey, usually the client, the person, the customer is already aware about what product he's gonna buy. So I'm not sure what kind of e-commerce your listeners have, if they have like e-commerce that is focused on conversion or focus on demand generation. But on Amazon, we
Well, I
try
mean,
to,
we're
yeah.
we're primarily Amazon sellers, so ultimately we
Okay.
want that sale. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, like the Amazon customer journey actually also is dealing with the phase before the Amazon marketplace touch point, but is a small part of what's happening. Most of the Amazon customer journey happens starting from the client deciding what product they want or what problem they have, usually on social media or Google or other type of internet places, and then ends up doing the conversion in the Amazon platform, and then repeats the purchase after in his real life. So after using the product, decided to rebuy the product or suggest the product to family members or gift the item to other people. And to summarize quickly the customer journey, the main touch points are the keyword touch point, the images touch point, the conversion, the packaging marketing, the product success, and the repurchase part. Because whenever a client repurchases your product 3 or 4 times, the probability of becoming a referral to other people regarding your products is very high.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And why is that so important to Amazon sellers? Because all we have is our listing and our advertising. So why is it important for the seller to understand that customer journey?
Yeah, I think it's all about optimization, because Amazon is so competitive right now that you need to saturate all the touch points in the Amazon customer journey. I mean, when I started in 2017, I remember very well that one of our best strategies to sell was listing optimization, right?
Hmm.
We focused mostly on images, and that was enough to rank high and sell organically, right?
Yeah.
Right now, this is not possible anymore. People are so aware about everything that you do with Amazon. So the point is you need to do everything correctly. So this is the first
Mhm.
point. The second problem, especially when we work with clients as an agency, is that the resources and time are very limited and the activities are too many. So you need
Mhm.
to define the top 1% or top 2% activities to get the most results. So the cost optimization of the customer journey is not only about doing everything, but also about defining what is the priority right now.
Yeah, and I remember, so my wife and I started selling supplements in 2010. At that time, all you needed was one bad picture and you made sales. At that time, there were listings that had no images
That's
whatsoever. They
amazing.
were just a text listing. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with what you said, and I'd like to just kind of further push the point of it used to be that all you needed was a good hero image. The rest of the images could be kind of mediocre. Now you need to have all good images, all good content, all good A plus content, it's enhanced brand content, etc. And so these single silver bullets that would make you $1 million are now just a piece of the puzzle that you have to put together into a whole really good, well developed landing page for people to go and see exactly what they need to know in order to make a buying decision. So, to further that, if you don't understand what goes through the mind of your clients to make the decision to purchase, you can't push those correct buttons. And maybe you do it accidentally, but there are specific buttons you want to push. You know, early days, you wanted features on your bullet points. And then it was better conversions if you put what your product resolved. So no more stinky breath, clean white teeth, blah, 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 blah. It's no longer filled with fluoride and has golden crystals in there to help whatever, you know? And so your
Exactly.
client, you need to build your listing in such a way that the client goes there with questions they want answered. Is it organic? Is it this, that, and the other? So yeah,
That's
I couldn't agree
exactly
with you more.
a good example that you said about the difference between the features and benefits.
Mhm.
That's two different touch points of the Amazon customer journey, right? You need to touch them both, because some clients are aware about a solution, so they will gonna search the feature. But some
Yeah.
clients are not aware about the solution, are only aware about the pain or the desire. Having
Yeah.
both is gonna expand your demand conversion.
Yeah, if someone's looking for a battery charger, they already know it charges batteries, right? So they're looking for specific features. Cool. So, can you tell me what are the most important parts of the Amazon customer journey?
Yeah, I think what I see as the best ROI from the client we work with is the main image. I think is one of the best ROI activities that you can do. That we could do a full episode about why that's important. But the point is, if you can double the click to rate of the images, you can cut the advertisement cost. You can create a monopoly on a specific keyword if you convert very well on those keywords. And to do that is not easy. Is also not 100% compliant with Amazon term of service sometimes. I want to clarify. I see that the best sellers in some niches are borderline compliant with terms of service, right? So you need
You
to
mean
understand. Okay, sorry.
do you mean like by adding that like 100% Italian made little fake tag on the product and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, especially Italian tax. Yeah, that's the issue. No,
Yeah.
but yes, I agree with you. Like you can see for example, in the supplement niche, because supplement niche is very optimized on main images usually. On
Yes.
average, they add a lot of items that could be removed potentially by Amazon. But if you don't have them, you cannot compete with the other sellers, right?
Yeah,
An
makes
example.
sense.
So that's an example of optimization that has a good ROI.
Yeah. So for the newbies out there, just to give you an idea, if you think about how you as a buyer scroll through Amazon, you get a title as it flashes by, you get a title and a main image. That main image needs to be a scroll stopper, right? You have to stop the person from scrolling, look at it long enough to go, that's interesting, and then click on it. So that's why I mean I know people that have spent thousands for sure, arguably tens of thousands over time, optimizing just that one main image because that is where the money comes from. Is that and the first on mobile, I can't remember how many characters you get, 50 or whatever it is. But yeah, that main image and your title are the image number one, the title number two are what stop people from scrolling and then clicking.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, for example, when we talk about that touch point, that is the main image, when people see the main image, they see main image, the incipit of the title, some coupon, discounts code, price per quantity, the price. So, if you want to optimize for the click-through rate, actually you need to do more than the main image, as you explained, right? There is some sections that you need to optimize. What I see is the main image is the most important thing, but there is a lot of other things to optimize. Yeah.
Mhm. And what are some of the most overlooked parts of the process? What are people often missing?
Yeah, that's a very interesting topic. So we recorded a few days ago, no, a few months ago, a video regarding the customer journey. And if you see the graph, the representation of the customer journey, you see that half of the customer journey is before the purchase, half is after the purchase. Most of the sellers focus so much on the first sale, but there is a very long marketing process after the sale that is more profitable long term. So, for example, we call it package marketing and product success. These are very two components that you need to optimize to have the best marketing. So, what you put on the package can very well double the sales or triple the sales, can make people fall in love with your products or with you personally, can make them do 5-star reviews that are 100% compliant with Amazon terms of service, can make people gift your items to other people. So, for example, with one product that we managed, we seen this person buying a product for itself, and this person was a manager of a big company in France, and they bought for Christmas, I think, 100 pieces of that
Wow.
item because you made that person fall in love with your product so well.
Yeah, that is definitely something. So on our side, we're still selling supplements, right? And back when it was a lot easier to get data from Amazon. The last time I checked, I have a quite a few clients that have paid me thousands of dollars, but my highest paying client over the course of the last 15 years, almost 16 years now, has paid me over $12,000. That's
Yeah,
crazy if you think about it. Like, if you're just trying to go out and get a $30 sale, you're missing the point here. You know, depending on the product, of course, right? If you only need, I don't know, one reusable diaper for the life of the baby life of your baby, well, okay, fine, that's a different story. But in supplements, consumables, etc., you want those repurchases. And if you can build a strong brand, you can take, let's say it costs you $5 in PPC to get that sale. That $5 made you literally thousands upon thousands of dollars of profit because you handled the customer journey after the purchase. So
yeah.
that's an extraordinarily good point, Pietro, because and again, it depends on the product. You know, if you're selling like a pump housing, okay, you're probably not going to build a massive following around that because it's very specialized, right? But in many, many, many other ways, bed sheets, you know, consumables, foods, etc. That's an incredible part of the journey because you can get those reorders and then those clicks don't cost you anything. They're looking for your brand and immediately going, that's the brand, I'm buying more.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's another concept. In fact, you can speed up the process with advertisement to upsell, cross sell, but most of the work is done, as you said, when you create the product, when you deliver the product to the customer, when you give amazing experience, and yeah, this is what usually Amazon seller miss the most, in my opinion.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. We haven't done a lot of it, but because the brand that we sell, we don't own, but we've been selling it for over a decade. But we've got over 100 SKUs roughly. I mean, you know, the person buys one SKU from you, you have 99 additional opportunities to make them go, "Oh, they sell this too? I love this brand. I'll just get it from them as well." And now you've turned a single sale into a multi-sale. And so that's like your average order value, your AOV as it's known, you know, you can handle that stuff inside of Shopify and WooCommerce and BigCommerce and stuff like that. In Amazon, definitely harder to track, but you can create those sorts of brand followings. So excellent, excellent point, Pietro. So we're actually on our last question. How can Amazon sellers quickly implement some of this process to get the most out of it? Actually, you know what? I'm going to modify that question a little bit. Can you list out in order of importance where to start and what to focus on last? Main image obviously would be number one.
Okay, okay. So I tell you from the experience that I have when we help brands, because in theory there is so many things you could do, but in practice I see most of the sellers see the best results. Understanding very well the keywords, Amazon keywords, I think is the most important part of the marketing, because keywords, especially keyword intent, is telling you exactly what clients want, and you can do deep analysis and aggregate data to understand the behavior. So you can see maybe the intent is specific to one color or to a gender or a quantity, and this is telling you a lot about the use. Another thing you can do is analyze the data in brand analytics, and there are also some softwares that help you understand better your customers. So these softwares aggregate the data, and you can see more information about what kind of customers they are. You can also go search them around and see if there is any public information available to understand what kind of people they are. But talking practically, do an amazing keywords analysis, do main images that are amazing and get a lot of clicks, do amazing second, third, and fourth images, because we've seen that those are the ones that convert the most. A lot of sellers don't
And
even read the text sometimes when they buy. and then optimize the lifetime value. So think about the customer. How can you make them fall in love with you as a person, as a brand, as a small seller? And how can you make them so satisfied and successful so that they can buy again?
Okay, so keyword research, main image, and then what?
All the
Title and then
images.
bullet.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
all the
following images.
images.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right,
then
right, right.
think about what are you telling on the package? Like, well,
Mhm.
what information are you giving to them?
I love it. Well, cool. Pietro, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been awesome having you here. That was quick and really valuable information. So, if anyone wants to get a hold of Pietro, if you're launching into the UK, EU, etc., he's been doing this for a long time, over 7 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
9 years
no,
with the store and
9 years.
with the agency, few years less, but still 9 years of
Yeah.
experience. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so just go to successmappers.com, and Pietro, thank you so much for being on the podcast, my friend. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You bet. Ciao, ciao.